Meaning President Trump acknowledged that due to his tariffs, this Christmas, children might only get 2 dolls instead of 30 dolls. Which brings me to my new segment, Oh, Hell No.
Oh, hell no!
Oh, boy. Now, I rarely talk directly to the president, but you listen and you listen good. If I wake up on Christmas morning and I run downstairs to find only 2 dolls under my tree, I will lose my effing mind. The CEOs of many tech companies who supported President Trump's campaign have said they were surprised by all of his tariffs. Well, yeah, I mean, he hardly ever mentioned them.
We're going to have so much money coming in from tariffs.
Tariffs on pharmaceuticals.
Tariffs on steel. Car tariffs.
Hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. Substantial tariffs.
10% tariffs. 25% tariffs. 50% tariffs. Big tariffs.
Tariffs.
Tariffs. Tariffs.
Tariffs.
Tariffs. Tariffs.
I love tariffs.
It's like listening to Bubba Gump talk about shrimp.
President Trump, I did not vote for you. That said, I respect that you are our president-elect, and I want to be able to support you. But first, I ask that you support me. I ask you to support all women and our fight for equality in all things, including the fight to be recognized as individuals who know better for ourselves what is right for our bodies, better than any elected official.
Colin Jost and Scarlett Johansson don't just roast him. They dissect his presidency like a biology class gone wrong. He's the frog that never stops croaking, the science experiment that exploded years ago but somehow keeps smoking. Together, they turn the chaos into comedy, slicing through his blunders with surgical sarcasm and cinematic precision.
Ethical experts are also warning that Trump may owe political favors to countries who give him lavish gifts. But based on the way he left the Middle East, I think I know how Trump is going to pay them back.
His humor isn't just punchlines, it's a public service. When Scarlett Johansson joins in, she adds the kind of elegance that turns mockery into art.
Trump met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky yesterday. Let's see how it went.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
Pretty good. And now, thanks to that meeting, now you actually can gamble on World War III on FanDuel.
The two together become the world's most charming demolition crew, elegantly dismantling the myth of competence surrounding Trump's presidency while never breaking a sweat.
Trump to run the country like a business, but it turns out he's running it like one of his businesses. I love that you can intentionally ruin the economy and still get to stay president. It's like if you drunk drove your car through the window of the DMV and they were like, license renewed. It's insane. This was the worst week for the stock market since the summer of 2020. But you have to remember, back then, the president was also Trump.
Men and women here today that are anxiously awaiting to see how your next moves may drastically affect their lives. Support my daughter, who may actually, as a result of the appointments you have made, grow up in a country that is moving backwards, not forwards, and who may potentially not have the right to make choices for her body and her future that your daughter Ivanka has been privileged to have.
She paints a picture so vivid you can practically smell the merchandise booths and hear the chants that sound like slogans from a dystopian theme park. Her sarcasm cuts deeper than any headline, pointing out that a presidency built on showmanship eventually collapses under its own costume change.
Repeatedly scolded Zelensky, telling him, you have real problems. Yeah, man, he's in a war. No one's asking to borrow missiles so they can take the party to the next level. Zelensky was asked to leave the White House. Then he appeared on Fox News and said he thinks he can still salvage his relationship with President Trump, which is like Justin Baldoni saying, I'd love to work with Blake again.
Colin and Scarlett, ever the perfectionists, examine the theatrics of Trump's self-image, the hand gestures, the exaggerated expressions, the endless need for applause. She treats it like an acting critique, pointing out that even the most dedicated method actor couldn't maintain that level of performative ego without rehearsal.
On Wednesday, Trump announced he was pausing most tariffs for 90 days. Now, 90 days may not seem like a long time, but remember, Trump has only been president for 82 days, and it already feels like a goddamn decade. President Trump posted that he is bringing back Columbus Day. And as a tribute to Columbus, RFK is bringing back smallpox.
Colin takes it further, transforming the absurdities of Trump's public statements into metaphors for chaos. Each press briefing becomes a riddle that scholars will study for centuries, searching for meaning where there is only noise.
President Trump traveled to the Middle East this week, and if I were him, I would have just stayed there because it looked awesome. Trump arrived in Saudi Arabia, where he was greeted with a lavender carpet which matched the color of his tie and also the length. They also rolled out a mobile McDonald's truck for President Trump's visit, featuring Saudi Arabia's most popular new burger, the McJournalist. Former president and current reverse mortgage applicant Colin Jost criticized Biden's speech, saying the words are not flowing smoothly out of his mouth. Well, we can't all speak with the same effortless grace as Donald J. Trump.
Just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat.
Oh, it sounds like someone just inserted a colonoscopy camera.
Describing a country where shouting has replaced thinking. Her humor carries weight, suggesting that even laughter must sometimes act as resistance. Through irony, she exposes the emotional exhaustion of a nation constantly asked to cheer for dysfunction.
Last 2 days, investors have lost over $6 trillion. Money is leaving the stock market faster than Morgan Wallen at goodnight.
President Trump announced a tariff on all goods imported into the U.S., saying that the U.S. has been plundered and raped by other countries, and Trump will not stand for plundering. An economic slowdown from tariffs could be especially hard on China because it's not easy to tell a child they're getting laid off.
Jost's comedy thrives on that contradiction, turning disbelief into laughter and laughter into clarity. Scarlett finishes with the perfect blend of wit and insight. She imagines Trump's legacy as a hall of mirrors, each reflection distorted by ego, yet insisting it's perfection. The facts themselves will sound like satire. Together, Colin Jost and Scarlett Johansson turn mockery into a refined art form, wielding laughter like a scalpel to dissect the grand absurdities of power. Their chemistry elevates satire into something sharper than commentary. It becomes revelation. Through humor, they expose the fragile ego wrapped in bravado, the chaos disguised as confidence, and the spectacle mistaken for leadership. The Trump presidency becomes their living exhibit, a cautionary comedy where ego replaces reason and performance replaces policy. Every blunder morphs into a punchline, every boast unravels into an unintentional gag, and every loud declaration echoes as irony in the aftermath. Their brilliance reminds the world that no act of arrogance lasts forever, and even the biggest showman eventually faces the silence after the final laugh fades.